Greetings, friends, and welcome to Captain Samuel's Synthesized Sigils. Vincent King was a pseudonym for English author Rex Thomas Vincent. He wrote his work in the late 60s, early 70s, and then disappeared from the writing scene, instead focusing on being an art professor at the Cornwall School of Art in England. His art style was abstract, which matches his writing. Now, even though Vincent King didn't produce a lot of books and stories, I've loved everything I've read by him so far. Light a Last Candle got 5 stars from me. Another End got 5 stars and a God tier rating. And Candyman got 5 stars and one of the easiest God tier ratings I've ever handed out. And I haven't read his book Time Snake and Super Clown yet, but I'm confident it'll be good. I enjoy his work so much that I tracked down every story he ever published, all in New Writings in SF, edited by John Carnell. And this is the publication where Vincent King got his start. So he's in New Writings in SF, volumes 7, 8, 9, 14 and 15, and 19. Now, these 6 short stories by Vincent King throughout those anthologies are all in a shared universe and deal with different perspectives and aspects of the same theme. Humanity has regressed and is dependent on something back on Earth, typically a computer ruler. Everyone lives in world-spanning cities that crumble into ruins and hide mystical technological secrets beneath their layers. While humanity rots on Earth, the Exploration Corps has sent out people to scout for new life on other worlds, and as they travel in starships, the crews are disassembled and live within a machine-produced dream world, or otherwise have the reality manipulated by computers in some other way. Then when the Exploration Corps returns to Earth, there's culture shock and revolution. And in fact, those two themes, independence and free thinking, culture shock, and revolution, are typical of his work, whether the Exploration Corps are involved or not. So let's take a look at these 6 brief, imaginative, psychedelic stories by one of my favorite authors, Vincent King. And also, I've got a special treat for you. Since the theme of these stories is computer-generated illusionary reality, I'll be using some high-tech wizardry to simulate each short story. You'll be impressed by the realism. Defense Mechanism is about tribal societies eking out a harsh existence in a world-spanning city with aliens that stalk them. One man goes alien hunting with a flintlock double-barreled shotgun, and the tense atmosphere of suspense and danger is excellent. This one does have a few plot holes because the aliens are killers at first and then helpful at the end. 4 stars out of 5. The Wall to End the World is about a medieval guard who is posted on a gargantuan wall which spans a continent. Protecting the wall is a religion, and neglecting this duty is a severe religious offense. A frozen wizard appears from nowhere and calls the guard away from his post for a different mission, and the entire nature of the wall and the world is upended. 5 stars. Testament is a first-person account of a space-exploring entity giving a report to a recording device, and how the exploration team accidentally created life on a planet by jettisoning the ship's waste containers. Most of the story is excessively detailed descriptions of geological formations, and even one of the characters repeats how bored it is and wishes the story would move along. A rare miss for Vincent King, just 2 stars for this one. The Eternity Game is written like a play, with the perspective of several characters with just letters for names. A wanderer travels across an eternal pathway through space until he discovers a waterway leading down to a planet. This one is experimental and psychedelic, and it's difficult to tell what was happening. It had some great lines about human life, hedonism, and politics, though. 4 stars. Report from Linnelos is also written like a play, and it switches between a computer which believes itself to be God and a machine gun-wielding horseman who fights through a post-apocalyptic medieval landscape. There is twist after twist at the end, and it really plays with the idea of what is real and the limitations of perspectives deprived of outside information. 5 stars. The Discontent Contingency is about the last city on Earth, which exists under a glass dome surrounded by wasteland. A computer called the Generator ensures that everyone is perfectly happy. One man is unhappy, however, because in true gun nut fashion, he gets the hots for a Luger handgun in a museum and develops an obsession about it. He eventually steals the pistol and flees the city, and what he discovers outside changes his understanding of reality. Plenty of twists at the end, plus lots of gun-stroking erotic prose for the gun nuts out there. 5 stars. Alright, so that's it. 6 short stories by Vincent King. He is a great but underrated author, and I really hope that you'll check out some of his work. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well.